back again. This is your boy Tapan. You know, man, it's been so while, man. I'm sitting with the one and only Kagiso. I think most of you know him around this PO. He's a writer, he's selling wines. He also hosts some shows too. I think Wednesdays around 5:30 at the Morning FM. He's decolonizing the Africans, this guy. So yeah, I think I've introduced you, sir.
No, it is a good introduction, my man. I think you have done justice. I don't know if that I have to introduce myself to the people, but I can just maybe add on what you just said. For people who don't know me, my name is Kagiso. I'm from Wolmaranstad, Northwest. I'm a writer. I have my own wine. I'm a businessman. I'm a Pan-African. In simplicity, I'm a painter also. I have paintings that I paint. I write short stories. I write poems mostly. Most of people know me because of poetry. Because 2018 I wrote about, I don't know if I told you, 2018 I wrote about 500 poems. Yeah. So yeah, that's when people started to realize that this guy is a writer. He loves poetry, and then I carried on like that, writing poems. So my bio is that simple. I'm a writer mostly, but I'm a businessman also, because of you don't have a choice if you're a black person. If you don't make ends meet, you have to make ends meet. So that's why I'm a businessman also and a writer.
Yeah, that's very impressive. I once read your story saying that you are coming from disadvantaged background whereby people don't have that lots of opportunities. Hence, you have created one for yourself. I think creating one for yourself is whereby you are trying to empower your community where you're coming from, create like job creation, empower the economy on the village and the surroundings villages, by the way. That is a great one because of like we are trying to fight poverty as black people. That's what I know. And if I may ask, say, what is actually like empowered you, or what made you to have that drive in writing?
Yeah, I think that is a good question. Yeah, we as black people, we are disadvantaged because of the system that has been set way before we came here, and the system that is running at this moment. So as a black person, it's very hard for you to empower yourself, especially if you are surrounded by people who are disempowered. People who are disempowered can empower other people because they are disempowered. So they feel vulnerable and they fall victims in most of time. So if you live in environment whereby people are disadvantaged, when you look around those people and you see that these people are losing hope, and you know that hope is an animal that has to be fed, and if people start to lose that, then they are losing the sense of living. See, so as individual, you see it with yourself and you tell yourself that I have to find a way to empower myself, to feed my hope, because this animal has to eat, and you have to motivate it more than anything, you see. So when I said with myself, I've realized that our people, they are crying a lot. There's no one who speaks on their behalf, and I've realized that I'm a person who is very close to the pen. So at times, I remember when I wrote a poem. It was out of the blue. I have never thought about it, but I always wanted to express myself, because I'm not that kind of person who says a lot, but who writes more and who read more and who love watching things and reading. So I took a pen and I wrote a poem. After writing that poem, I went to school. I remember I was doing grade 11, if I'm not mistaken. It was 2016. If I'm not mistaken. I remember that very well. I've been writing motivational quotes way before that, but I never thought of writing poetry. So I wrote a poem. I went to my friend. I remember we were coming from a life science class, You know, when you attend life science in high school, you don't attend in the same class that you have been taught. You go to the lab. So we went to the lab. When we came back, I told him, man, you know that, man, I have a poem that I have written. I don't know if you want to hear it. And he said, let me hear, man, because he was also interested in sort of those things, philosophy and writing and all of those things. And I've been sitting with him like since the beginning of the year in grade 11. And we always talk about these things. We talk about the philosophers and we talk about the power of words. So I thought maybe if I can tell him, and he said, let me hear him. And I started reciting the poem. I remember it was saying, they may not listen to our words of inventions. Yes, it's fine. This is not a matter of persuasion, but a matter of conviction, motivation that lead to inspiration, hard work and dedication without any hesitation. Dear African nation. And it went like that, rhyming. Dear African nation. This is beyond limitation. We did our preparation to accomplish their mission, but to us, vision is just a fiction. So it went like that, rhyming, and it was speaking for our people. And he said, bruh, I think you should keep on writing. This is powerful. Because when we were working, when I started reciting it, other people wanted to listen also. They came, and then we went to the class and I recited it. Up until I went to the class, we sat and I recited it there. And he said, bruh, I think you should keep on writing.
So, in terms of coming to a pen and a paper, you are telling me that's where you express yourself. That's where you express what you feel to your feelings, by the way. So, like, that's too deep because of, like, just yesterday when I was on my way coming from home, I was listening Kurara FM. I was listening to this other lady. She's also writing stoner books. She was telling the presenter that, you know what, whenever I feel something or I see someone going through something, I'm not that person who can motivate that person. I will just take a paper and a pen and write what I feel about that person or what I see according to my experience or my perspective. You understand? So that's very powerful.
That's what we should do as people. Sometimes if you are in an environment whereby everything is so hard and people are going through tough times, you have to find things that are outside and find a relationship with them. So I found a relationship between myself, pen and paper. And I think when I got that, I felt like someone who have power, because for once I could speak for my people, even though without them realizing that I'm speaking on their behalf. Because I used to write poems on Facebook a lot, every day, and they relate to those poems. Like the person who says that the person that you were listening on the radio, she said she when she writes, she writes to motivate people, but she won't go and motivate people. So this is the same thing that I do, but likely sometimes I do public speaking. I go and tell people it's possible, because I believe that there's nothing that is impossible in this world. Everything is possible, especially for us people who are struggling. We have to have hope that things will be better, and that's when we find the meaning of life.
So, like, what was your first book to write, and when did you write that book?
Okay, so the first book to write, it was poetry, Setswana. But the first writing, it was in English. So like I told you that in 2018 I had 500 poems, but unfortunately I didn't have like any Setswana poems on those poems. It was just English poems. So I told myself, man, if I'm an African living in Africa and I'm just writing in English, and there's someone in America writing in English, what makes me different from that person? We are the same people. So I told myself, I can't publish English book before I publish Setswana book. So I dedicated my whole time in writing the Setswana poetry. And when I started writing the Setswana poetry, it was when I took a gap year. You know, when you take a gap year, it was 2018. When you take a gap year, you you are trying to discover yourself, and sometimes it's without it is not because you want to take a gap year. It was because of the circumstances. You see, maybe you are from a very disadvantaged community whereby going to university is not something that people dream of there, and your dreams are limited by your environment also. You see, and when you are there, sometimes you don't have that passion to go outside of your community, you see. And when I took a gap year, I wrote a lot, and that's when I expressed myself, the frustrations that our people had. I had to express them on their behalf. I would walk on the street watching some of my friends that I grew up with sitting under the tree, saying nothing to each other, just watching each other, sometimes holding cigarettes or dacha, just smoking, so quiet. And you would see the tree moving as if it is speaking to them. And it is something that you wouldn't experience if you're not from the ghetto, and sometimes you are like, it's funny, but you, after passing them, it hits you again. You'll be laughing like, damn, these guys. And then after passing them, it will hit you like, damn, bro. So this is it for them now, because some of them they didn't even have opportunity to finish school, you see, and it's because of drugs that they are using. It has consumed them to a point whereby they are bowing to those drugs, and they are worshiping those drugs every day. They have to take them every day. It's like they are taking a medication, and those kind of things sometimes they touch you, and you tell yourself that I have to write for my people, and I have to do this for my people. And everything it comes to, I have to do all of these things for my people. And especially when it comes to writing, I told myself I have to do this for my people. And when you took a gap year and you see things like that, all you want is to have a sense of belonging, and also to have a sense of having something worth to live for, you see. And you are trying to find yourself, and I told myself that something that I have to live for is writing, because I have to write so that people who are coming, the upcoming generation, can read my books, and people now can read my books, and I can change people's life through poetry and through writing. So that's when I tried to find something, that a sense of achieving something that would make me feed my hope, so that I can feel hopeful for the future, you see. So that's when I started writing a lot, and that's when I took during the time that I was taking a gap year. And it was not easy, it was tough. I won't say it was easy, it was tough, because when you take a gap year, your parents expect you to go to work, you see, and you're just there sitting, you're taking a gap year and you're writing, and you don't understand what you're doing, you see.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the book like I was talking about here. I think you even wrote another one in.
No, this is I just did the frame. I published it online, that one.
This is the book. You can find it online.
Yeah, it's
where they can find it.
On Amazon.
Amazon.
Kindle store.
I think I will put it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, they will check it out there. And then there's this upcoming one. I will announce it when he released it. So far, I can see that you have passion, especially you wrote about where you're coming from, you expressed your feelings around the place that you grew up in. So, let us touch a little bit where you come from, especially your background. I'm talking of your home and your family. How was the situation at home?
Like I said, I'm from Walmaranstad, Zolelang location, Extension 10 to be precise. Like I said, the community that I come from is a very disadvantaged community. So I come from a family of 4, 5. I have my mother, my two siblings, and me. We are four, and unfortunately, my father passed away when I was doing grade 10. I think it was 2015. 2015, and also that's what also drove me to writing, because losing a father, especially as a young man, you are looking up to your father a lot. You see, he was someone that I looked up to in terms of advices and other stuff. And when he passed away, it was very difficult. So this is what happened. I lived with my family. I was born in a village called Budibe. It is in northwest, just in Lichtenberg town. It is a periphery of Lichtenberg town. This small village close to Itusaing. If for people who knows it, and if for people who don't know it, it's just next to Itusaing in Lichtenberg, Northwest Province. I was born there from the age of 1 up until 5. So, when you have parents who are working outside, they would go out working. My father especially would go to Madibo for working. He was doing electricity. He would go to Madibo with the company that he's working for, work there, and sometimes my mom would go there also, go work there also, you see. And I will maybe stay behind with my little sister, and we will share good memories with my little sister. So when I was about 5 years, I think 2003 or 2004, my uncle, my father's brother, unfortunately also passed away. So there were only 2 of them. So my father had to go to his funeral, see. And the funny story, my uncle, when I was young, wanted me to live with him because he didn't have a child. See. But my father refused, and my mother refused, because I was the firstborn. See. So during the funeral, we went there. I think it was around September. When we got there, we attended the funeral. Everything was fine. So my uncle was working at the municipality. So what happened is he had to get his payment, you see, and my father remained and tried to get these payments, but it was a
process.
A process that he has to take. He took that process, and September, October, November, and then December, boom, we are there, still there in Volmaranstad, from Budibe village to a town, Volmaranstad. See, I was young, I didn't know anything by that time. Going forth, and come January, we have to go back. We didn't go back, and by that time, I think I was doing grade 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I had to go to grade 3 at that time. And come January, we didn't go back. February, we were still there. March, we were still there, and my father found a job there. And also, the company that he was working for, it went to Johannesburg. He had to go to Johannesburg. Now my mother had to go with him to Johannesburg. And by that time,
and leave you guys behind.
And leave us behind. And it was two of us by that time. It was me and my younger brother. It is me, my younger brother, and my younger sister. So my younger sister was not born during that time, you see. So my younger brother and me, we had to stay behind. But my father, his mother stays, my grandmother, his mother stays at Klerksdorp. We had to go to Klerksdorp. We went to Klerksdorp, I think around February, March. And then when we got there, my father was in Johannesburg. He worked there. December he came and he asked us, how did you guys do at school? And they didn't register us at school during that time. So we were not schooling during that time.
You were just at home.
We were just there sitting with my grandmother, and we were enjoying. We didn't know anything. We were young during that time, so we are just enjoying. We are young, we are playing, and grandmothers, man, they love their grandkids. Spoiled us rotten. But we didn't go to school. So we went back to Volmaranstad during December instead of going to Budibe. We stayed there, and January they took me to school. I to do grade 2 now. I did grade 2 and we continue. Then Volmarasta became our home. Yeah, and then 2007 my younger sister was born, and then we lived there and we adapted up until today. When someone asks me, where are you from, man? I say I'm from Volmarasta. Because my developmental stages, most of them are in Volmarasta. That's why I say that I'm from Volmarasta. Yeah.
So yeah, because of like you're from Volmarasta, then coming from the other side of it, you're saying in Lichtenberg, that is a good one whereby your parents had to take care of you guys even the situation was difficult. But that is any parent will do for their kids, bro. So yeah, like I said, it's been a while not being in front of a camera, but sometimes I'll be losing it,
No, you got it, man. You got it. Trust me. You got it.
So like I'm impressed because of like you also have a wine here called K1G. It's K1G. Hey, maro, that's Puzini. That's 10 years Puzini, maro. That's here Puzini. That's Puzini. Yeah, so like I can see this wine. There has the African picture like you have expressed it to me. Where did you put this thing here?
Yeah.
And how much is it?
It's 90 rand.
It's 90 rand, but the bottle is big, bro. You can't see something like that. But it's because of like you are still starting there.
Yeah.
Once it's been distributed to liquors and your macro, your take a lot, it will be now calling. Yeah. I think, Jans, that's thinking. Yes. Plus it's Monday. Yeah. So like, what came up with the idea of a wine now?
Yeah. So, I did a lot of research. I'm more of a businessman. More than anything. Even writing books, I know I have to sell books, so it's business also. So with wine, what happened is there was an idea that I had that I wanted to have my own beer. So I used to tell people and they were like, nah, that's impossible. That's not possible. And
people don't believe like in people's dreams. Like I was telling someone that, you know what, man, any business that you are willing to initiate and you start to tell someone about what you think in your head, they will tell you how will you do it. Because of like they don't see what you see.
Yeah.
That's why lately I don't tell anyone my dreams, because of like they can't see what I see.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Even though when I told someone that next year June I'll be sitting with one of the most popular influencers, they're asking me how will you do that?
It's possible.
It's possible. Way
it's
possible.
It's very possible. Anything can happen in this world that we stay in.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Continue. So to disturb you.
Yeah. So I wanted to start with my own beer. So I did a research and I was doing a lot of research, and during that time when I was doing research, I realized that it's so expensive to start a beer, and I was like, damn man, I think I have to check other revenue that I can, some business that I can start, because while I was at home, I remember during COVID-19, I had a business. I had a shop, a mini shop. I was selling vegetables, mixed veg, and other things that people really need. It was more like a shop that, in a shop where you sell things that people really need in agency. So I was selling those kind of things. I was selling mixed veg, I was selling vegetables, I was selling sweets, I was selling snacks, I was selling all of these things, showers for the people. I was selling everything that people needed, and I was running that shop. So while I was running that shop, I was learning cash flow, how to take profit, and how to do business, and what product that I have to have that people really need. I've learned a lot, and I've realized that most of us young people, we are not into business during that time, because before I started with wine, while I was doing all of these things, it was a process for me to go there, you see. But I have to start there first, you see. And while I was selling, the people didn't understand. We're like, why are you selling? Because they think selling is not for maybe for you, for me maybe. Why are you selling? And they didn't understand that during that time. And when I go to the market, while I was going to buy everything in the at the market in Kagiso. So I stayed in Vollemarastad. I had to travel to Kagiso to get the everything. So when I get there, they made me a card. And when I got there, mostly it was Indian people and white people and old black people and few black people, but mostly it was different races. And it was different, but it was like, it was not in South Africa. And to see myself as a young person, it was only me, a young person. Other young people were working there for those people, you see. And when I saw that, I told myself that, man, if these people are into business and we respect them so much, why should we not get into business? See, and I told myself that I'm gonna push business instead of, because I believe in having my own things, man. I believe in working for myself. See, I wanna have my own stuff and work for myself. So I always dreamt about building my own wealth. So during that time, it was a process also. It was a process. I had to go through that process. So while going through that process, I was selling, everything was fine. So I had to come here to school. So I left business with my parents, back at home with my mom, to be precisely. And my mom, because of the way I handle business, she couldn't handle the way I handle, because in business there are a lot of things that happen. You have to be resilient when you are into business. You have to be very resilient and be highly motivated. So there are things that she didn't understand. So she sold, and then she kept the money, put it in the bank, and I told her that when I come, I will continue with the business, but I had to do other business. That's when the idea came. Then the idea came that what can I have that is very tangible? What can I have that is an asset that is gonna live while I'm not here, and that is gonna generate wealth, because that's what I'm striving for, wealth. Because most of us black people, we don't strive for wealth. Instead, we strive for 9-to-5 jobs, and 9-to-5 jobs are not they won't make you wealthy. You see, I always say that having a PhD certificate while you are dead won't buy bread for your kids. So I wanted to have something that if I live here, it's gonna live here,
a legacy,
you see. And I told I searched for, like I told you, I searched for a beer. I couldn't find any beer that is affordable for me, and I saved, and I searched, and then because also with us black people, we don't have manufacturing companies. We have good ideas, but we don't have manufacturing company. I had an idea of the wine that how I wanted to taste and everything, but I didn't have a manufacturing company. So I said, if Jet, Pep Store, Ackermans, all of these shops, they go to the manufacturing company to get clothes there, and they put their tag on those clothes. How if we have these ideas and we have idea of how we want things to be, a beer, how do we want it to taste? Maybe you want your beer to taste like coffee. You have that idea, but where do you go when you have that idea? You go to the manufacturing company, because you don't have the manufacturing company. So when I had the idea, I approached the manufacturing companies. A lot of them, honestly, some of them turned me down, told me, no, you are young, you don't have a profile, we can't take you, and we can't work with you. See, so they wanted a profile, but I approached as many as possible, man. And fortunately, there was one company that had hope in me, that saw something that I didn't see in me, because I was just writing a lot of emails. I was like writing emails when I woke up every day, early in the morning. I would go check my emails, and one company replied and told me that we can work with you, and we can help you make your dream come true.
Yo, that is God, bro. You know, like sometimes where we're going for, bro, like some people don't believe in us until we make it. So for you to have them, you kept on going, even if you kept on falling, but we keep on pushing. Right now, we are sitting with your wine here, with your books. And regarding your books, so I want to know if they are published.
Yeah, My books are published. I'm working with a publisher, Mashia Ramudike from Pretoria. So he published all of these books, and he took 4 books, sent it to the national libraries so that they can record it. It has a serial, what do they call this?
Serial.
International Standard Book Number. So when you want it, it is there. So this is the company that I was working with, Evenly M50. So this is the company. It published in 2022. So this is everything. You see the copyrights here, everything. So it is a published book. Yeah, even though it was hard publishing it, but after 4 years of trying to publish it, I managed to publish it after saving money from NSFAS. I saved money from NSFAS, and every time when I got that money, I saved it, and I published using that money. And I managed to publish because also the publisher believed in me. She also saw something in me. I don't know what these people sees in me, but they see something in me, you see. So, and she published me, and I was very grateful because, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you that the reason people believe in you is because of like, they see that you have that passion in yourself. You actually do believe in yourself. In everything that you touch, you believe that it will become a magic. So if I were you and having these things in front of me, I will say God is good, and I will say the little that I have for now, it is the little that will take me somewhere in the future. Because of like, I was telling someone about you that I see you somewhere, especially for this upcoming 5 years or 3 years. I see you somewhere. You understand? Whereby people now, they will be starting to be like, hey, man, kind of, we did not believe in Kagiso. We thought this guy is crazy. We thought this guy is mad. But you know, like when passion drives you, bruh, it is one of the most important thing, and especially when you take it into consideration, whereby because of like our government in particular, they don't do nothing for youth except for selling us alcohol and to let us to walk with alcohol at night and not arresting us. That's the only freedom that we have. But freedom of fighting poverty, we don't have it. So since someone like you, whereby you want to fight poverty by all means, you are even taking your NSFAS money to make your dreams to come true. Who can do that?
Yeah.
Some of us, when we find our NSFAS money, be like, hey, sharp. I feel clear, no boy. No, one of I call it. Change it. Lenny the ball. I don't say. They will say, Monday, I'm not for call. Oh, man, that day, said about Santa Show. Yeah, oh, man, I shade on a bank account. Pull you like a cool. You see, so yeah, man. Oh, but that's more than that. Big transfer, but let us go a field. She never wanted to steam. Wow. Yeah, that is what, bro. And truly speaking, I don't know if I missed anything out because of like it has been time, bro, long, very, very long time. But I don't sit in front of camera. You know, I've been busy with schoolwork, and I can't compare schoolwork with content.
Yeah.
You understand? I have to respect my work.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't respect this work, but this work is it's a bonus.
Yeah.
But the main one is to study. Yeah. So like I think I still have a few questions for you, so then we can wrap it up. You work in? Do you volunteer at Manning FM and you decolonize the minds of the Africans? Like what is the purpose behind that message?
Yeah. Decolonizing the minds of Africans. I've realized that at this moment we are imprisoned, but we are not imprisoned physically. We are imprisoned economically and mentally. So I've realized that our people are in a vulnerable position, and they have to be empowered and told that they are great people, because we live in a system that tells you every day that you are nothing. Black people are experiencing a lot of racism at this moment, and it is not good to see that, especially when we say that we're in democracy and still people are experiencing racism, especially people in high institutions. It is because of all of these things are institutionalized into us, and we think this is the way that we have to be treated as black people. We saw a young man there in Stellenbosch, a white man urinated on his desk, and it was a very unfortunate situation to see it happening, especially during this time around where we think that we are really into democracy. And 2017 or 2016 also, I think there were young girls fighting because they were told that they have to cut their hair, and they were Africans, those girls, that they have to cut their hair, that their hair are not suitable for the policy of the school, and it was a white school. And now also there are a lot of cases that I can mention that are making our people, it's taking the dignity of our people, you see. So those kind of things, when they happen, and you see them happen, you don't want to stand and just see them happening. You want to decolonize our people, and you want to empower them, especially if you have a little information that you have. You want to share with people, because sharing is caring and sharing is empowering also. So to empower people is by sharing. It's either you're going to share information with them, the information that is going to empower people, or you're going to share the tools with them, the tools that are going to empower our people. So when I went there at Tamaning FM, first time when I went there, it was when I wanted to publish a book, because it all goes back to the book. And I met Mr. Kagiso and Mr. Katlego Musielele. I remember very well, it was 2 years trying to publish a book. And I went to them, and they told me, no, you can come and recite your Setswana poems here Thursday. And I went there, and they told me, come next week again. And I went, and during September, they told me, the whole of September you can come and recite for the heritage, because also I believe that our heritage is in our languages. See, for us to save our heritage is to save our languages. You see, we have to speak our languages very fluently, and we have to be proud of our languages. And that's when we decolonize ourselves, to think that our language is very important, and there's nothing more important than our language and our culture. So I went there and then recited the poems that speaks more on that, and they realized that this man, there's something. Also, they told me that they think there's something about you, man. So they keep on inviting me, but now and then. So also this year, I went there because I published. I wanted to promote the book, obviously, and also I wanted to promote the wine. So they told me that you can promote the wine like this, in radio to promote this money, but we had a way to promote it. See, I talked about the book, the whole show. After the show, I told them I also do business. I have a wine, you see, and then after the show we cut it, but I also promoted it. So they see something in me, you see, and for them to give me that opportunity, it makes me really feel that I'm doing something for our people, you see. So this year also, when I applied for the United Nations to go represent my country that side. So, and the United Nations accepted me to go and represent my country. Yeah, thank you. It accepted me to go and represent my country as a diplomat. So to talk about the issues that are really affecting, the burning issues that are really affecting our country, you see. So Mr. Kagiso Munto saw that, and he said, man, for you to prepare for this, you can come every Wednesday on radio and talk about all of these things. And I said, no, I don't have a problem with it. And I titled, because he gave me freedom also, I titled it Decolonizing the Minds of Black People. So when I went there, we talk about the education system, we talk about the justice. Last week I was talking about the justice system. We talk about the imbalances of the justice system. We talk about the economy. We talk about the GDP. We talk about the small businesses enterprise. We talk about commercial and small business, also agriculture, subsistence agriculture, and those kind of information that empower people. And after the show, I will have websites, and I will have cell phone numbers. I will share with our people, so that if they want to get into the agriculture side, they can contact which numbers, and go to which websites, and for the founding they can go to which website, and for especially small businesses, and which number to contact. So it has been going like that, but I'm more of a guest to the show, but I'm coming regularly. So I'm more of a guest but a guest that comes regularly to empower our people. So this is what is happening. I'm empowering our people, especially with the information. I'm trying to make them free mentally. Like I said, that during this time, we are imprisoned mentally. So I want to take these people out of the prison, but to take them out of the prison is by giving them information time and time again, because that's what I believe, that my purpose is to do that. I believe that I came here to empower our people, to make our people free, and that is my biggest purpose that I have to go. And if I don't go for it, then I will regret it, and I don't want to regret that. You see, that's why I'm trying by all means to go like that, empowering our people. Anytime I get, empower our people, and I don't see any chance as a small chance. Any opportunity is a small opportunity, and I see people with a lens that this person is doing great and this person is great. I don't undermine people, and I take people to a high standard. And that's why I see black people, because black people are not ordinary people. They are extraordinary people. They have enjoyed pain and they have enjoyed poverty for so long, yet they are still striving, and some of them, they still believe that tomorrow is going to be better. So for me to be part of that, those people who are putting fuel in those people who will say tomorrow will be better, actually there are people who are like us and they're striving. So I wanted to be part of that movement, part of the movement that in future, when people look back, they will say there was Kagiso Sejamoholo. He once came here and he did this for our people, you see. And this is the ultimate goal that I'm striving for, because our heroes were fighting for us to get the political freedom. Steve Biko, Robert Mangaliso Sibukwe, Krizani, and other leaders, they fought for us to get the political freedom. So now it is our time for us to fight for the economical freedom. That's why I'm getting into business like this and trying to run businesses and be mentally free and believe in ourselves, that as black people, like Steve Biko said, that black person has to love themselves before any other races. Black consciousness. I'm trying to raise the conscience of black people, you see, for them to see themselves as superheroes and as people who are great, you see. And that's when they start to see themselves like that, that's when a lot of things will come and we can build this country. I believe that if we work together, we're gonna build this country. As black people, if we come together, sit down and work together, regardless of what the other person is working on. If we can sit down and work together and do, maybe if we can start there, since us as black people, we don't have a lot of means, we can start by bartering. I have this, you have this, let's exchange. You have this, I have this, let's exchange. You see, I have a wine, you have a book, let's exchange. Let me give you a wine and give me a book. Maybe I can put extra money there, but let's exchange, let's do that. And that's when we grow as black people. Our economy has to go around us, black people, before the money has to circulate around black people before it goes out of us, you see, outside of the black community. Before it goes there, it has to circulate around us, and to circulate there is for us to start something that is tangible for us. We have to start businesses. We have to start something that is gonna make us wealthy, circulate money there first, you see. Have our own banks, and I believe that we can have our own banks. It's because it is. Have our own land. Try to work together also on the land. Have our own things, you see. Have our own manufacturing company so that we work as black people. Have our own things. And when we have our own things, we are empowered and we are powerful. The Jewish people are doing that. Their money circulates around them, and after circulating around them, it goes out. And they are the wealthiest people at this moment, you see. Even white people are doing the same. They work together, they build businesses, they protect their family, their children are protected and fully protected in terms of after finishing grade 12. They don't have to go to stress about going to varsity. They can go and work to a company whereby a person who has finished and done with school will go and work for them as CEOs. But CEOs who didn't finish school, who just finished with grade 12s, you see. So we have to change that mindset. We have to push education. I love education and I believe in education. But also we have to have something tangible. We have to have something tangible. We can't keep on working for the same people for centuries. Our parents worked for these people and our grandparents worked for these people as slaves. And our parents worked for these people and they thought they were not slaves, but they were slaves. And unaware, us also, we are becoming slaves of the system and slaves of other people that we are working for, because they see us exactly like that.
So that is the mission behind all of that, decolonizing the minds of Africa.
Yes.
I really love it when you say like the money is circulating around the Jewish. Yeah, even if we can go to the audits of the wealthiest people in this country, we will find that the white monopoly is the richest one. Whereby in terms of speaking like Rupert, in terms of speaking Oppenheimers, in terms of speaking about Stellenbosch Mafia, you call them, you name them. It's only white monopoly. They even have power into our politics. So in terms of coming to business, we really need people that can think beyond, people that can be consistent, people that can know what, if I'm gonna initiate this kind of business, I will run it without any doubt, without any failure. So in terms of coming to business, for me, I feel like I've seen lots of people trying business, but they don't know how to manage business.
Yeah.
Business is managing them.
Yeah.
So
No, it's very hard to manage business, honestly.
Yeah.
And like you are saying, the Stellenbosch mafias, the Oppenheimers, the Roberts, they've been so wealthy for a long time.
for years, even
During
apartheid,
during
they were ruling
apartheid,
this
they
country.
were ruling, and up until today. You see, the thing is, that's why I'm trying to decolonize our people. The thing is, our leaders at this moment, they have what we call political freedom, but they don't have economical freedom, you see. So if you don't have economical freedom in states like this, you will want investors. And if someone invests in your country and put money there, these people are gonna control you as a person who's there in front of the people. So as a leader, if you're a leader, but you just have political freedom and you want to grow the economy, because that's when you create employment. And we know that we have employment crisis in South Africa, besides other crises like load shedding and water crisis, you see. You have to have means also, because money on its own is a tool. You have to have that kind of a tool to empower people. But if you are getting money from all of these people, they will do you like they did Zimbabwe. They will invest in you. And when you start to fight for your people, and when they tell you that we are taking our money, we are sanctioning you, we are taking our money from you, we are stop investing from you, and we are not gonna work with you from here. Then what happens is, as a country, the economy will collapse and people will become poor, and we will have unemployment crisis. So these people will tell our leaders, do this and do this and do this. And our leaders will do exactly that, because they don't want to lose this investment, you see. So people with money, they are just sitting there, but actually they are controlling the economy and they are controlling the political aspects of our country. And we can't see it because we are sitting here. If you check the media, even when they report the news, when they report about a white person, maybe if a white person has shot someone, they will say a white mentally ill person has shot someone, you see. And when they report about a black person, they will say a gangster, a black man who seems like a gangster held a gun and shot a child, you see. And when they shoot a black person, they will say we shot a gangster who was trying to run away from a scene after committing this and this. And by that time, they shot someone from the back, you see. And if they shoot the white person, they will say the police are faulty. And that's when you see that these people are really controlling us. And the media, the way we consume the news from the media, we consume a biased news from the media. And it is a sign that these people are controlling us. Even the food that we get here now, It is these people who make this food. If they want to kill us at this time, they can just put poison in this food and bring this food to us. We go to Checkers, we go to ShopRite. Who owns ShopRite? If it's not John Rubin. When you go there, he owns ShopRite. If these people, they really want to kill us, they can kill us like that. And do you wonder why people are sick? It is because of the food that they eat. And do you wonder why people are sick? It's because of the water that they drink. And ask yourself why. And this kind of people, some of them, they don't even eat this food that we eat. They don't drink this water that we drink. And we eat all of those things. And we unaware we are being colonized. There was listeriosis last time. And it was from the food. People were eating polonies and all of these things. And some people died. I think close to 200 people died. You see. So these people can kill us if they want. And it's because of we don't have the economy. If we have our own economy, if we have our own agricultural land that we make food from, and we have our own shops that we buy from, then nobody will control us, because we know that if we protest and they say don't protest, we're going to protest, and we're going to protest for our human rights. But we can't do that. Why? Because they control us. Once we protest, you know that you're going to prison. What happened to the school of Feast Must Fall? Some of them, they went to prison, and they were fighting for the right thing. Everyone saw that these people are fighting for the right thing, but why are they going to prison? This is because of our leaders are being controlled.
All I can tell you is that, like, I understand and I hear you, but the thing is, we don't have power, especially coming to controlling, especially coming to land restitution. We don't have power. Like, everything is taken from us. And as I was saying, like, in the morning, I was watching news. Actually, I was on Twitter this weekend, and I've seen this boy who killed himself in Mpumalanga.
I saw that.
I didn't get too much into it because I was busy weekend, like I said. But today in the morning, I was like, I saw this post, man. Let me go and read this message. Like, coming to our system in particular as a whole in South Africa is biased. Systems, the Department of Justice, they are on the side of women. The system of land and protection and, what can I say, business is everything. White monopoly. You understand? So if you can observe everything as a black man in this country, the only thing that we can rely on is to work for the wise man. But if you have a business mind, it's either you pay brown envelope first. You understand? If you don't work hard, if you don't push yourself, it will have to be a brown envelope. So the reason why these people are winning is because of, like, for you as a black person to reach to the greater heights, you have to go through some process, and it's a process. So black people are lazy, like Dr. Ndozi was saying, it's all in the mind. But black people are lazy to work. You understand? I will do this thing, I will do it tomorrow. What time is it? Okay, I will do it tomorrow. I will do it when. You understand? They have this thing of postponing, and they are too lazy. They are also impatient, but they are full of complaints. They like to complain, but they are lazy. They don't want to work. So,
but it also like that. It goes back to the. I hear you. Also that one about the news. I was watching the news, and I think honestly, like, the system also somehow it discriminates us black people. I mean, black men especially. You see, because it is more of empowerment for black women. If there is gender-based violence, they take women and they go empower women. But what is the root of the problem? If they go empower women, then why you're not empowering young men? Because if you see men are making this, then you have to take men and teach them on how to treat women. But instead, you're taking people whom said to be victims, or whom people are said to say these people are victims. But why aren't you taking black young men and teach them on how to treat a woman? But sometimes women, because they realize that they have this power, they abuse their power like any other person. You see, sometimes power corrupts, absolutely. You see, so when they realize that I have this much power, they do what? In school, they tell a young man that, in Pumalanga, they tell the young man that, I'm going to report you that you raped me. The young man, what happens to him? He goes there, and he doesn't know what to do. He takes a tie, put it on his neck, commits suicide, and he dies. After, the girl sees what? I was kidding. You were kidding, someone died. So they abuse this power because they realize that the system is on their side without checking that, is it true that this person committed this crime? They will take you to prison, you see. And the same system won't take a white person to prison if he kills a black person in a farm. It is a biased system that is working really against black men, especially young black men, you see. Because it is us young black men who have energy, you see. We are on our prime days. We are able to make changes. Most of leaders made changes when they were young. They were fighting when they were young, you see. So the system is against us in that way, you see. And sometimes when it is against you like that, it becomes so difficult for you as a black person because you are working really hard, you see. And when you are working hard work sometimes is not a good thing because you can work hard and still not prosper. Working hard is not a solution. So we thought that working hard is a solution. Because if you can check, black people have been working hard their whole life. Since during slavery, they built houses, they built all of these things. It was hard work. And white people didn't work as hard, but they benefited more, you see. So with us, we think any solution to a problem is us working hard. But we don't have to work hard. We have to work hard, but not only hard. We have to work hard and we have to be smart with our work. See, let me make a simple scenario. When I was doing grade 4, I thought hard work was a good thing. And I had a teacher. He told me, boy, come here. Because I was so hardworking, you see. And I said with him, he said, you are really working hard, bro, but I don't think this is working for you. Because he saw me as one of him. He saw something in me, let me say that. He saw something in me that there was something great in this boy, but if I can speak with this boy, and he made me a scenario, he told me that there was once a monkey, it was taking corn down, taking corn, putting it here under the shoulder, taking corn, putting it under here. Because I was young, he was telling me in a simple way, taking the corn, putting it here. So it was on a row. It took that corn on a row, put it here, took corn in a row, it put it here. And when it got there, it had its baby on his back. When it got there, it worked so hard. But when it got there, it was only one corn under the shoulder. And it worked so hard. It could have had more than 100 corns, but it only had one corn here under the shoulder. It was hard work, but not the smart work. So with us as black people, we have to find a way to work smart. We can't always work for people. That is not a solution. If you work for a white person or work for other races, I'm not saying we should not work for them. But if you work for them, have a plan. Make a plan that I'm working for these people for this period of time. If you are working for the system, tell yourself that I'm working for the system for a period of this time. Because if you are really working for the system, then you're still in prison, regardless if you put a tie on your neck. You're still in prison, you see. So have a plan that I'm working for this, but I'm going to build my wealth after this. I'm working for this to gather money so that I can build my wealth after this. You do that. After doing that, you go build your own wealth, because that's what we really need. Economical freedom. We need economical freedom by all means. So for us to build economical freedom, we have to work smart and not hard, or hard but with smart work. So if we can do that as black people, I'm telling you, we're going to prosper. We're going to take the world, because we have all these ideas. We have all these innovations that we can come with. We have everything that we need. We just have to work smart with the resources that we have, and especially with the little resources that we have. We don't have to complain about having minimum resources. We have to take the minimum resources, use them to our advantage, and make this minimum resources work for us and sit down while these things are working for us, because sometimes it is not necessary that we have to work hard, but we have to be smart with our work.
Yeah, I have heard this, and now it's been 1 hour. It's been nice to have a conversation and think that we can still talk. But the thing is, I appreciate how you have brought your ideas to the table, how people can learn from you, how people can seek solutions, because of like most of people, they want to push some things, but they don't know where to start. But I'm happy that I heard you on my show, say, and fortunately, I think I will also have you next year, whereby I think around, but let us just say next year we'll have you again. Next year I will have
You have to have me again.
Yeah, we'll have
Because
you
we
next.
didn't speak enough.
Yeah, we didn't talk enough. There's more to
1
talk
hour,
about.
1 hour is more.
It's small. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kagiso Sejamoholo. You can find one of his English book, I think, in Amazon. You can also contact him or get him in Facebook. It's Kagiso Sejamoholo. You can also request for a wine if you want to quench your thirst. This is the man that he think he is, and he had different gatherings and everything, so really happy to have you. So ngiyayivala le show manje.
You can close it, man. No.
You don't have Instagram?
I also have Instagram. I have Instagram, Kagiso Sejamoholo. They can just search Kagiso Sejamoholo on Instagram, and also on Twitter, Kagiso Sejamoholo. But on Instagram, I think it's Kagiso Sejamoholo _1. I don't use Instagram that much, but they can find me there. If they send messages, I can reply also on Instagram. But I'm mostly active in Facebook.
Yeah.
On Facebook, I'm Kagiso Sejamoholo Proteahai. There, if you send message within 3 hours, you're gonna get the response.
Yeah.
I respond very fast to the messages, and I don't see like that I respond to all of the messages. Yeah, so if they want me, they can get me there. I'm not gonna leave my numbers here because
No.
because they're gonna
Women of house will kick you.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you again, and I don't think this is the last episode. When I will release the other episode, I think on the 19th or 18th December, but I will be in Kurumane. I will shoot around Kurumane, but this is the last one in Kimberley. So when I get in Kurumane, I will release again. See you again.
I don't know if you are also looking at time, because I want to also promote her stuff.
Oh, what is she? But I think let me put it on the screen when the episode starts.
Okay. No problem.
I will see you. Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I just got off the phone with the girl who loves you too. Said you're working on yourself, is she helping with that too? You gave her the time of day. You told her that you would stay. You made me feel the same way. What goes around comes around, that's what I always say. 'Cause